tuning into Sundays at the Square. I am your host, Tony Ringgold. I want to thank all of my listeners who have tuned in for the past couple of years since I've been on the air. I really appreciate all of your love and support. Make sure, guys, if you haven't already, please go download the B106 app. And also go on myb106.com. You can listen to this show and other shows and hear about all the wonderful things going on right here on B106, hip hop and R&B. Now, I want to kind of segue into something really, really important, and I hope that you all listen up because it's something that that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but it's really needed in our community, and we really need to learn how to support one another when it comes to this issue. July is Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. Again, it's Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. You know, being an African American woman, I can often recall times where I've heard people say, oh, they just crazy, something wrong with them, they not wrapped too tight. Not realizing that sometimes people really go through things, and it's not even just an outward show of crazy, but it could be depression, it could be anxiety, and bad thoughts that you may have, and we often it's stigmatized in the community, in the minority community, not just Black but people of color in general. And we often do not address these issues, and they become bigger, and we don't have anyone that we feel like we can talk to. Well, I definitely want to encourage my listeners, if you are experiencing anything, please reach out to someone. I'm going to give you guys a few statistics real quick. 20%, this is the percentage by which African American adults are more likely to experience mental health issues than the rest of the population. 40, the percentage of Native Americans who die by suicide that are between the ages of 15 through 24. Native Americans have the highest rate of young adult suicide in any ethnicity. 10.3, this is the number of Hispanic men out of 100,000 who died by suicide in 2014, a figure that has remained consistent since 1999 with no sign of improving. 8.6, the percentage of Asian American adults who sought mental health treatment in 2010, nearly 18% of the general population nationwide reached out for services in the same year. This is a big one. 89, the percent increase in the suicides of Native American and Alaskan Native women from 1999 to 2014. The rate of suicide among Native American and Alaska Native women is approximately 9 out of every 100,000 people, up from 5 per every 100,000 people. 62, the percent of non-Hispanic Black individuals with depression who had a major depressive episode in 2012. Despite the fact this figure represents the majority of Black individuals with depression, only a small percentage see a mental health professional to help manage their condition. 25, the percentage of African Americans who seek treatment for a mental health issue compared to 40% of white individuals. The reasons for this drop-off includes misdiagnosis by doctors, socioeconomic factors, and a lack of African American mental health professionals. 90, the percent of all suicides in which mental health illness plays a role. Remember, mental illness is not a character flaw. It's not something a person can just simply get over. It's not a person's fault. Mental health issues can be anything from dealing with particularly stressful periods to something more serious like depression or schizophrenia. If you're struggling with mental health, look into your treatment options, because everyone should be able to live a happy and healthy life. And if you or someone you know needs help, please call 1-800-273-8255 for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Guys, this is such an important topic. I myself have experienced some things in life that I thought was going to really take me out, and nearly did. And I had to go and finally seek some help myself. I have been in consistent therapy for about 6 months now, and I'm gonna tell you, it has been life changing for me. I used to feel like, oh, well, I could just get through it and I could just keep going and everything is gonna be okay. But once you start realizing the same patterns keep repeating themselves in your life, then maybe you need to talk to someone that can help you. And take your time, figure out, it may not be the first counselor you meet. You may have tried counseling before. You may have tried talking to a therapist before, and it seemed like it didn't make a difference. Well, maybe that wasn't the right person for you. Maybe that wasn't the right fit. And even if you say, well, I don't have the money to go and pay a therapist, there are a bunch of different agencies. If you call 211, they will give you information for different agencies and different counseling places in the area that would love to see you and will see you free of charge. Do not suffer alone. There's somebody out there who is trained and who cares about you and wants to see you happy, healthy, and in a good space. Like that article said, mental health is not a character flaw. Mental health issues, mental illness does not mean that something is wrong with you. We all deal with different things, and sometimes it can be something as simple as a chemical imbalance, something you can't even control. It can be hereditary, whatever. But if you're hurting inside and you are, get help, seek help. These 90% of suicides was related to some type of mental illness. That's a huge number, you guys. So from my heart, please, if you are experiencing any type of hopelessness, if you feel like you just can't function, if you're not feeling like yourself, if you're having these crazy thoughts and your anxiety level is going up and you can't seem to control it, you can talk to someone. There are people there that are trained, that want to see you succeed, and I want to see you succeed. If nobody is rooting for you, I'm rooting for you. So just wanted to take some time and talk about that really quick. But I have a wonderful guest that I'm going to get on the line. She is going to talk to us about some beautiful things that she is doing in Temple, Texas. Also, hey, if you have any type of events going on, or if you're part of a community organization, if you're doing something great in the community and you want to let us know about it, please hit me up. Toni Ringgold, ToniRingold. You can find me on Facebook. You can also find me on Instagram. You can email me at toniringoldmusic@gmail.com. That's ToniRinGGOLD. Again, ToniRinGGOLD. Please let me know, because I love getting all types of guests in. You might think it's something, quirky or different. I love quirky and different. If it's doing something positive in the community and it's impacting us in a good way, we really need that. And I want to get the word out. I want to let the people know about what you are doing in the community. All right. So again, ToniRinGGOLD. Also, make sure that you got that My B106 app, B106 Hip Hop and R&B, and make sure that you go on myb106.com where you can see these shows and others. All right, I'm going to get my guest on. So I have this beautiful lady that I've had the pleasure of meeting. She actually came on the show with a friend of mine. I would say it was maybe a couple of years ago. And they were doing some things with the Unincluded Club right here in Temple, Texas. And so she's just had a beautiful spirit, and we have tried so hard to connect, but finally, we are able to connect. I want to let her introduce herself. So without further ado.
Thank you, Toni. I'm Kim White. Thanks for having me on. I know we've been trying to connect for a while, so I'm glad that we could finally make it happen.
I know, right?
Yes.
So tell the people who you are.
Who am I? Okay. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. But I think the main reason you have me on is because my husband and I started a nonprofit a couple years ago. called Bridge East Temple. And our primary project with that right now is the 411 house, which is a house in East Temple for the boys of the neighborhood to just come, have a fun place to be, and be exposed to some new experiences and male mentors. So
I love it. I love it.
yes,
So tell me,
yes.
what is Bridge East Temple? What is that?
Okay, so Bridge East Temple, so it all kind of started with the house, with the vision that we had for this house. But we knew that if we wanted to do that, we had to set up a nonprofit organization.
Right.
And we didn't want the nonprofit to be just about the house, just because we have such a heart and a vision for the whole community of East Temple, and we've just loved being there, getting to know a lot of the kids and a lot of the families. And so we just thought, let's kind of make the nonprofit a little bit bigger and overarching.
Yeah. I love
and
it.
so we like the term Bridge East Temple because it's like making a pathway to other communities, and I just feel like other communities can benefit from East Temple, and East Temple can benefit from other communities.
Right.
And I just think it's a beautiful area and a beautiful community that often gets overlooked or feels disconnected.
And that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about a little bit, because for some of our listeners that may not know about East Temple is, I guess, what some people would claim is the hood, you know what I mean? And it's a place where a lot of, of crime has happened and different things like that. And people, they, like you said, it's overlooked. Nobody wants to go over there. It's kind of like one of those places that people have just condemned. And for you to go and put a home right in the middle, in the heart of it, kudos to you. So what are some of the challenges that you faced with opening up the 411 house? So we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But what are some of the things that you guys have had to overcome with doing that?
Well, it's been, first of all, I have to say the community in general has just been amazingly generous in the ways that they've helped us fix up the home. And we completely took it down to the studs and rebuilt it.
I love it.
And that was done almost all from donations from local builders and contractors. And so that part has been amazing. And we've just really been up and running for a couple of months now.
Okay.
And so it's, honestly, so much of it has just really kind of gone as we envisioned. We knew that the boys would, especially in the summer, there's just not a lot to do for kids in that area that, don't have a way to get to a camp or pay for a camp.
Or money,
I was
going to say, or money to pay for a camp, yes.
Right. So, transportation and costs are a big roadblock. So, our hopes were that they would enjoy coming and all of that. Probably the biggest roadblock has just been, as a nonprofit, just the manpower and the financial resources now that we're up and running. So we just need, we're doing things twice a week right now, which is great, but I would love if we could do more, and that just takes more people. And as a nonprofit right now, it just takes volunteers. So that, and then just, the financial resources long term to keep doing this and keep having activities and things available for the boys. So
right, and getting people in, like you said, that are going to be consistent. Finding the right people with the heart for it, and that's why I really wanted to do this interview with you, because I wanted to get the word out and let people hear what you have going on, and hopefully one of our listeners, or a few of our listeners, or a bunch of our listeners will hear and say, what can I do to help? Even if you're not able to come every week, if you're just able to commit, say, hey, once a month I could come in and volunteer, that makes a world of difference when you're trying to make a positive impact every day. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break real quick. We'll be right back. You are tuned into Sundays at the Square. I am your host, Tony Ringgold, only on B106.